Million-dollar mistake. Henry always dreamed of being successful. He wasn't born into money, but he was determined to change his life. One day, he saw a post online that seemed too good to ignore. Henry succumbs to a tempting online investment scheme promising quick riches, only to face a devastating loss. Invest $1,000 today and watch it turn into $100,000 in just 1 year. Henry sat back, reading those words over and over. Is it really that simple, he thought? His heart raced. The idea of making a fortune with little effort was too tempting. He'd been working hard for years, but his savings barely seemed to grow. This could be my big break, he thought. Henry wasn't a fool. He had a bit of skepticism, but the ad promised to show him exactly how it worked, with testimonials and success stories. People like me can make it too, he thought. The feeling of this is my chance started to overtake any doubt. So he did it. He transferred his savings, $1,000, into the online investment platform, trusting the system completely. For the first time in his life, Henry felt like he was about to break free. He felt invincible. A week later, Henry checked his account, $1,500, a small gain. But it wasn't enough to keep him from getting excited. The next day, he checked again. $2,000, then $3,000. It was working. But there was something off. Henry started noticing a few things that didn't sit right with him. The website was a bit too flashy. The support team was slow to respond. And worst of all, the returns were too good to be true. A sinking feeling began to settle in. But every time he hesitated, he remembered how far he'd come. Just a little longer, it's almost here. And then it happened. One morning, Henry logged in to find that his $5,000 investment had vanished. His heart stopped. He tried to refresh the page, but nothing worked. His phone started buzzing with urgent messages. Other investors were experiencing the same thing. Henry couldn't believe it. No way, not this way. He scrambled to find help, but the website was down. He searched online, and there it was. The scam had been exposed. It wasn't just him. Thousands of others had been tricked. He sat there, feeling a mix of anger and disbelief. That get-rich-quick dream had turned into his biggest financial nightmare. Henry spent days beating himself up. How could I be so foolish, he thought. But slowly, something clicked. He realized that the real lesson wasn't in the money he'd lost, it was in the mindset he had embraced. He understood now. Real wealth doesn't come from shortcuts. It's built slowly with patience, research, and smart decisions. He began reading, learning about stocks, bonds, and diversified portfolios. Instead of rushing into every golden opportunity that came his way, he started thinking long-term. Henry started rebuilding his finances, one step at a time. Years later, Henry had built a solid investment portfolio. Not just big returns, but sustainable growth. It wasn't the million-dollar gain he'd once imagined, but it was far more valuable. As he looked back, he smiled. That million-dollar mistake? It had taught him the most important lesson of all. Slow and steady wins the race.